Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am going to be doing a bit of a different video for you today. It's going to be a sit down chilled video. Apologies for any noise you may hear. My cat is currently like scuttering around in an empty cardboard box and I am sat on my daughter's soft play. So if you hear some squeaky noises, it's not my bum. Right, apologies for the absolute state of my hair, by the way. I washed it this morning, but I haven't had a second to do anything else to it, and quite frankly I can't be arsed. But in today's video I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So I'm going to be talking about how I make money as a stay-at-home mum. So I know a lot of you guys that follow me are kind of in the same kind of situation as myself in terms of having a child or children. And you either can't go back to work, or it's not financially an option, or things like that. So I just wanted to kind of run through a few things that I'm doing and how I kind of make my money month by month. Now, I just want to preface this video by saying none of the things I talk about are going to be like super lucrative. I'm not saying you're going to quit your day job and go and do loads of these things. No. And I'm also just want to warn you, they are not guaranteed. Some of them are kind of, well, you'll see as the video goes on. But yeah. So the first thing, or the first way that I make money as a stay-at-home mum is this. So again, like I said before, I don't earn money every single month, or sometimes I don't, from YouTube. But YouTube is my like main source of income, if that makes any sense. So for those of you who don't like know how it works and things, there obviously are multiple ways you can kind of make money on YouTube. So be that through ads, sponsorships, and all sorts of things like that. And the main way that obviously I earn my money from it is ads. I don't tend to do a lot of sponsorships. In fact, I don't think I've actually agreed to do any so far. So yeah, my main way is through ads, and through AdSense you can set a minimum kind of payment threshold. So mine personally is set at £60, so I think that's the lowest it can be, but I didn't want to make it any higher. So basically, as soon as my AdSense revenue hits £60, it will pay straight into my bank account, whether that month it's more than 60 or whether it's like bang on 60, it will pay into my account. So that is like where the bulk of my money comes from. Everything else is more kind of dribs and drabs, so that's what I mean by saying it's like my main source, although it's never guaranteed. And sometimes it could be bang on 60, like I say, sometimes it could be 100, like it varies so much, and you don't generally know what's going on with it unless you're like some, you know, big YouTuber with really big numbers. You generally don't know where you're at in terms of finances, and in terms of like payments and things. So yeah, that's like my main kind of source of income. And then, like I say, the other things are kind of like dribs and drabs. So the one thing that I've been doing for the past, I'd say 9 months now ish, is selling pre-loved clothes on Vinted. So whether that is my daughter's, my own, and I am thinking about possibly putting a couple of my husband's items on there because he's just recently got rid of some things and he's like, do something with it, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna stick them on Vinted. So that is what I've been doing. I think so far I'm at, I will tell you, in fact I'll show you so you know, for full transparency. My balance is currently at £123. So one thing to note about that with Vinted, I love it. I've had a few people ask me what I think of it. I love it, but the only downside to it I find is that they don't pay you, like Vinted don't give you the money that the person has paid for the items until they receive it. So unlike eBay, where you would get the money straight away as soon as the person paid for it, and then you would have the money there to pay for postage and things, with Vinted it doesn't work like that. Essentially you're paying up front for postage, then once the person receives the item, the full amount that they've paid, including postage, then gets paid to you. So what I've personally done is I leave everything I get, including obviously the postage amount and the whole buyer protection fee and all of that stuff, the whole sale amount I leave in my Vinted balance, and then I pay out of pocket for postage and things. So although I have earned on paper £123 on Vinted, I'd say a good 80% of that I've paid out in postage already, and I haven't like reimbursed myself for it. I keep Vinted as like a buy and sell thing, so everything I sell on there, I leave the money in there to then reinvest in more items, predominantly for my daughter. So she is 13 months old, and obviously she's growing out, or she had been up until recently, kind of growing out of things every few months, and it just makes so much sense, obviously financially, economically, to buy secondhand, buy and sell secondhand. So that is what we do. I generally kind of cycle through things, even stuff that I've bought on there in the past, I've resold on there, and things. So yeah, it's a great way to make money if you have maybe some higher priced items. You're not going to get loads and loads of money for it. I'm just putting it out there. A lot of things, especially kind of baby clothes, it doesn't sell for huge amounts, but every little helps, especially when you're a stay-at-home mum. Speaking of which, the next thing I'm going to talk about is surveys. So this is something that I've done for a few years now. I kind of done it alongside my job when I was working before I had my daughter, and then I've kind of carried on doing it now. So I use two different apps for this. The first one is called Curious Cat. I'll link them both in the description if I can. And the other one is Atapol. Atapol I've only recently found via someone else on Instagram. They mentioned it, and basically they both seem to show the same surveys, obviously at different times and things, but they use like the same companies and things. And yeah, but I just obviously go through one. If I've got no surveys to do, I'll go on to the other one and kind of go through that. So I've got like two different sources that I can kind of work from and try and earn some money from. So again, I tend to, although you can, at least with Curious Cat, I know, because I've used it for a few years now, you can pay out at any amount. You could get like £1.50 in there and think, screw that, I'm just going to withdraw it, and you can, and I have done. But last year I basically made the decision for, I think, the last 6 months of the year, that anything I earned in there, I would just keep going, and then I withdraw it just before Christmas, which is what I'd done. And I think I got like £30 odd, which, like I say, is not a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, especially just before Christmas, £35 is £35, like, you know, is not to be laughed at. So yeah, so when you go on there, you'll probably find that, like, or you'll think, oh, I'm gonna need loads of time to be able to get any kind of decent amount of money on this, because you get like 10p per survey or whatever. Some of them are more, some of them are less, but that's not necessarily the case. And if you find yourself with a spare 10 minutes, or, you know, you're doing a night feed or something like that, I found that to be a good time waster, for one, and two, obviously you're earning money when you would ordinarily just be sat doing nothing. So if you do find yourself just sat doing nothing and you don't really know what to do, you're a bit bored, like you've cycled through every video on YouTube, you've watched every series on Netflix, and you think, I might as well earn myself 30p for the sake of sitting here doing nothing, then they are really good to use. So the next two, again, they are the same thing but different companies, and they're a little bit different in terms of they're not something that you're going to actively do to make money, but it is something that will help in terms of spending. So necessary spending. So I'm talking cashback sites, so the likes of Quidco and Top Cashback. I've used both in the past. I predominantly use Quidco now, unless there is a site that I know is on Top Cashback that isn't on Quidco, then I'll obviously go between the two. But yeah, I predominantly use Quidco now. So like I say, this isn't like something that's just going to actively make you money, but if you're going to be buying something anyway on, for example, I've used Quidco to buy stuff from Boots, from ASOS, from loads of different companies, even Domino's, in fact. I think you get like 4% back, but that's better than nothing, and I'm not being funny. If you're going to be buying it anyway, you might as well get something back for it. So like I say, it's not going to be super lucrative, and it's also not super quick in some retailers' cases. Some of them do take a little while to authorise the cashback and things, but once it's there, it's there. And again, it is something that I kind of leave throughout the year. I will use it as much as obviously I need to for any purchases that I kind of need to make. And then I'll kind of withdraw it at the end of the year. So that is something that I have been doing predominantly this last year of being a parent, because like I say, every little helps, especially when you're on like a single income. So yeah, that is another way that I make money. And then the last thing I want to talk about is something that I don't know a huge amount about, so if you have any questions, leave them down below and I will try and answer them as best I can. But I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not anything like that. I don't really know a hell of a lot about what I'm talking about, but it is something that I've been doing for, I want to say 6 months now, at least. And that is day trading. So there are various different day trading like apps and websites that you've probably seen advertised on YouTube and various other social media platforms. But the one that I use is freetrade. So I initially signed up to freetrade via someone else's link on Instagram. And essentially, if you sign up, you earn the person who shared the link a free share, and you also get a free share yourself. So the only criteria is it is UK based, so obviously you have to fill out some information. I think you have to do the, can't remember what it's called, so I'm going to put it on the screen, UN something or other. Basically it's like the US tax treaty thing, and you also have to put in like your national insurance number and things like that. And I know a lot of people, when I've shared it before, have said like, I don't really want to give them my national insurance number, why is it asking for it and things like that. The only reason is because they just want to make sure you're, you know, paying the right taxes on what you earn and things like that. It's just a legitimacy protocol. They are literally just making sure you are who you say you are and you're paying the correct amount of tax overall in the year. So that is the only reason. So it's things like that, and you also have to put in £1 into your account when you first open it, and then within a few days, I think it's up to 10 working days, you will receive a free share worth between £3 and £200. A lot of my ones that I have received from personally sharing my link have been closer to £3. They're like £3 or £4 kind of each, but I did actually end up getting one that was £80, which was insane. And yeah, so like I say, I don't know a huge amount about day trading, and I feel like you maybe need a little bit more time to kind of keep an eye on things, because literally, like, obviously things fluctuate by the minute with things like that. But I tend to, if I get a second and I'm checking my phone anyway, I'll literally log in, check what things are doing. If it's gone up or whatever, I'll sell it and just do normal day trading stuff. Obviously I'm not going to go into it in like a huge amount of detail in this video, but yeah, I do make money off of freetrade. So again, I'm going to show you the app. This isn't sponsored or anything like that, but I just want to show you again for full transparency. So I'm not going to show you like my bank details or anything like that, and I'm also not going to show you all of my investments, but this is where my portfolio is at. So as you can see just up here, this is what my current kind of like balance is between money that I have from selling shares and ones that I have in current investments. And then just below it, I'm not sure if you can see it there where the little green arrow is, it says up by 400 odd pounds. That is basically where I'm at from when I started. So obviously when I first signed up to Freetrade, I put in the £1 to authorise my account, and I am up by £400 now. And I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, a lot of that obviously is from sharing my link and getting people to sign up and getting free shares that way. But then most of them I have just sold on, either as soon as I've got them or within a week of having them. I'm like, well, they're not really doing a lot. They're not really going up. They're not really worth anything. I'm just going to sell it. And again, I waited till I had like a pot of money, and then I withdrew that money straight into my bank account. So it is all legit. I know a few people have questioned it because like quite a lot of like bigger influencers on Instagram were obviously sharing their links and things like towards the tail end of last year, and people were like, is it legit? Like, why is everyone suddenly talking about free trade? Because it's a good app. They give you free shares if you get other people to sign up. It's an affiliate thing, so that's just literally how it works. So one other quick mention is something that I haven't actually made any money from as of yet, but it is something that I've just started doing. So that is, again, it is an affiliate, like, not scheme, but thing, and it is Stylink. So essentially when you share like a link to like an item or something on Instagram, you can make it an affiliate link essentially, and earn kind of money from it. You can also sign up to like deals and stuff to do like paid things on Instagram, like make paid content and things like that. That's not something that I do myself, but it is a way of doing it, especially if you have a slightly bigger following, because some of them do have like a certain criteria that you have to reach, which I'm not personally at. So yeah, that concludes my video on like how I make money as a stay-at-home mum. I hope you guys have found it helpful. Let me know down below if there's any other ways that you guys make money as a stay-at-home parent or a working parent for that matter. I know obviously the state of the economy is not great at the moment, so I think we're all in a position where if we can make a bit of extra money, we're gonna do it. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to leave links to everything I've mentioned down below. Like I say, I am not a financial advisor, and I am not saying like I'm not in control of any of your money. I'm not telling you to go and invest thousands of pounds in free trade, or you know, you're gonna make millions on Vinted. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like these are just a few little ways that have kind of helped me in the past few years, and I just really wanted to share that with you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you for now. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and let me know down below if you have like any other ideas on ways that you guys make money, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.